Hi, I'm Sonia, and I help people take their power back. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me and want me to call you on your BS, my coaching information is in the description below. I've decided that I'm going to be going live the same schedule I did in November through December, so Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time if you want to come hang out and ask questions. And here's Jax because I said something. Whenever I say, hi, I'm Sonia, he's every time comes over to me. Oh, there's lines from the blinds. So what do you guys want to talk about today? Hi, Jackson. Where did you go? I know I didn't set up over here because you were sleeping. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Go lay down and I'll sit with you later, okay? He's like, I'm so confused. Or you can come over here. Come on. I'll move those out of the way. Come here, buddy. Oh. Nope. Oh, I did not have a topic to talk about, so let me know what you guys want to talk about. No one has anything to talk about? Oh, hi, Kate. I'm at work, but I would love to listen about anything you would like to share. I got nothing to share. I'm waiting for people to give me topics to talk about. Hi, Mina. What do you guys want to talk about? Finally, a live I can join for a bit. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to keep my schedule that I had in November going live through December. So this time, Saturday mornings, and then Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I can go live on TikTok now. If you're on TikTok, I'm going to start going live over there. I just haven't decided when I'm going to do that. I was thinking about reading some Neville, but I have my phone, my stand I have my phone on, my tripod thing, on top of my Neville book because it's like a really thick, big book. So what do you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I got nothing to talk about. So unless you guys have something to talk about, it's just going to be me sitting here staring at you guys. Because I've got nothing. I manifested some blue roses yesterday. Nice. And realized I make this certain sound every time I manifest something. It's so silly, and I thought about it. Can I use that reaction as an affirmation to tell my subconscious I already have it? I mean, if that works for you, the law works however you decide that it works. And if you decide that that will work, it'll work. I saw somebody on TikTok, I can't remember who it was, but they're like, if you decide that going through the Taco Bell drive-thru will get you your manifestation, guess what? You're right. I'm like, that's awesome. That is awesome. Just you have to tell yourself that whatever you're doing, you have to tell yourself it works. Like that's it. Still comprehending the fact that I'm actually in charge. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that one takes a second to get used to, for sure. When did this really click for you, and when did you start seeing things come in and trusting yourself as a creator? It's been a fucking process. Things started to click about a year and a half ago when I found Sammy Ingram and her talking about how it's your thoughts and there are no rules and it's all you. So that was like, okay. And then I started getting shit to manifest right away. But where I got caught up was on like bigger shit and really comprehending that it's all just me. It's just come from doing it day in and day out that I understand it more. I understand myself more. I'm willing and able to let more and more shit go because I realize it just doesn't fucking matter. And yeah, it just, once I understood what I was actually trying, like, once I kind of got what I was trying to do, like, the more I do it, the more I understand it, and the more I understand myself. And the more I can create shit, and the more I'm able to change things in my life that I never thought I would be able to change because I understand what I'm doing and I understand how it works. So I'm more willing, because you have to be all in when you're manifesting. So the more comfortable and confident I am going in all in on things I wouldn't have never been able, like, wouldn't have felt safe in the beginning. Like, my big thing was fucking money. I'm all in on manifesting money in ways now that I wasn't ever before, especially when I first found robotic affirmations and stuff. When I first found robotic affirmations, needed money, and I'm like, I need a job, and I manifested a job within a week. I decided I'm getting a job this week, and I ended up manifesting 2 different jobs. And I ended up getting the job I wasn't qualified for because I decided I was going to have it. So it's like I understood what to do, but then like when it came to my money beliefs, there was so much shit going on that I have held on for so long that I couldn't just like drop it because I didn't understand what I was doing, and it just like it's like a onion. It's like the layers of an onion. The more you do it, the more you'll understand, and the more you'll go deeper with it, and you trust it more because you understand what you're doing. You you understand that it is just your perspective. Whatever you are deciding to focus on is what you're going to get more of. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever happens in your 3D, you have to ignore it and put meaning to it that's useful for you because that's what's going to manifest. I get it. Initially, I applied it, still struggling with wavering. I do get manifestations come to pass, but big shit is like, You have to stop telling yourself that it's big. You have to just keep doing it. The more that you make it a problem and you're like, well, maybe it doesn't work and maybe this, and like that was my big thing. I was manifesting all kinds of shit and I was still telling myself I didn't believe it and wasn't sure it actually worked. So I had to change that. The more you become aware of what you're actually telling yourself, the faster you're going to get shit to change. Keep feeling indifferent or bored about your desire. Does that mean it's coming? It means whatever you decide that it means, but more than likely, yes. Neville talked about it as the Sabbath, being like, I know it's done. It's just coming into fruition. But everything is whatever you decide that it is. If you're like, oh my god, it's a problem, I don't seem to care about it anymore, you're right. Or if you're like, yeah, it's done, I'm bored, who cares, like, it's done, then you're right. You're always right. My big thing is health, so I can do all the other fun stuff. You're healed. It's done, so start thinking about all the other fun stuff. If you were healthy, what would you be thinking about? You can start thinking about that stuff now. Did you feel scared when you manifested the big things like money stuff you just mentioned? I'm in a big transition in my money stuff right now. And it was really scary at first. It's like jumping off a diving board. and you get up to the high dive and you're like, oh my God, this is kind of scary. And then you do it and it wasn't as scary as you thought it was. You realize it's a choice. And the more I go for bigger shit, the more I realize it's just a choice. Thank you, Sonia. You're welcome. The version of you who has it may feel like it's not a big deal. Someone who doesn't have thyroid issues and doesn't think about their thyroid as much as someone who doesn't have hypothyroidism. Yeah. I can't remember who mentioned this, but somebody, it was Nikki. She just changed her YouTube name again. I don't know what she changed it to, but she talks about her health issues. Like, she was having seizures like all the time, and through affirming got her seizures to go away. But she would tell herself, and she tells people dealing with health stuff, to be like, I'm normal. Because a lot of people feel like I just wish I was normal. I wish I could do normal things. I'm normal. I can do anything I want. That kind of stuff with health stuff. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. How do you cope with that kind of fear? You make the choice to affirm anyway, realizing that your imagination and what you tell yourself is your experience. And by changing your inner experience, it'll change the outside. Awesome. Love it. I'll focus on fun adventures of life as a healed person. Exactly. It's exactly that. It is exactly that. Here, I'm going to move you guys. Oh. And let's read some Neville, because this keeps coming up. People keep asking me, like, why do your manifestations fail sometimes and like shit like that? And I'm like, because you're wavering and you don't trust what you're doing. So this is from Neville Goddard, his first book, At Your Command. Oh, you're welcome. Is it Traxy? Is that how you say your name? Yeah, I can't remember. She just changed her fucking YouTube channel name again. But yeah, Nikki has talked about health stuff before. Like, she's like, it was hard to affirm having seizures and waking up and not remembering a whole lot of shit. It's like, yeah, I bet. Okay, so this is from Neville. It's very Bible-y, so just, Neville's whole thing was that the Bible is teaching you how to manifest. But this is, to me, this like few paragraphs sums up all manifesting is. Praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire, rather than accepting praying. Hold on, maybe we need to start more at the beginning, because I understand, but if you guys are just coming in, we'll see here. The question, who do I say I am, is not addressed to a man called Peter by one called Jesus. It is an eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. In other words, who do you say that you are? From your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your experience in life, meaning your thoughts and the things that are happening in here. Who do you identify as? What experiences are you having? He states, you believe in God, believe also in me. In other words, it is the me within you that is this God. Praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire rather than its accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which one now desires. So can't you see why millions of prayers are not answered? Men pray to a God that does not exist. For instance, to be conscious of being poor is to pray to a God for riches, is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, which is poverty. Unless you change you and see yourself as a rich person who has money, you're not doing it, it can't change. Prayers to be successful must be claiming rather than begging. So if you would pray for riches, turn from your picture of poverty by denying the very evidence of your senses and assume the nature of being wealthy. Ignore the 3D. We are told when you pray, go within in secret and shut the door. And that which your Father sees in secret, with that will be rewarded. With that will he reward you openly. He will identify the Father. We have identified the Father to be the awareness of being. We have also identified the door to be the awareness of being. So shutting the door is shutting out that which I am now aware of being and claiming myself to be, and that which I desire to be. So instead of focusing on, well, this is happening and that is happening, so this means this is happening and I can't have what I want and I'm such a victim and I'm never going to get what I want, and all that has to go, and I have what I want and this is what's happening now, the end. The very moment my claim is established to the point of conviction, that moment I begin to draw unto myself the evidence of my claim. Do not question the how of these things appearing, for no man knows that way. That is, no manifestation knows how the things desired will appear. Consciousness is the way or door through which things appear. He said, I am the way. Not I, John Smith, am the way, but I am the awareness of being is the way through which the things shall come. The signs always follow, they never precede. Things have no reality other than in consciousness. Therefore, get the consciousness first, and the thing is compelled to appear. That's how it fucking works. You have to imagine it and tell yourself that that is what you are experiencing in your head before it can change in your world. Why do so many coaches say affirming doesn't work? I feel empowered by affirming, choosing a different version of self, etc. Because they don't understand what's actually happening. It's one of two things. Either whatever the fuck they're telling themselves works for them, and that's what they believe they've figured it out and invented something new and they're so special and, oh, this is how it works, not understanding the actual law of how it works, that it's just whatever you tell yourself and what you believe. Or they don't know anything about manifesting and just talk about it to get views. Like, that's it. Or they don't think in words, so it doesn't work for them. They think in pictures, which if you think in pictures, then affirming wouldn't work for you. But it all has to do with your perspective, how you choose to think about things, however you naturally think. Someone mentioned spiraling in the positive. Yeah. You just start telling yourself positive things instead of all the shitty shit. Kind of how you experienced it. That whatever happened around you, you think it's working in your favor. Yeah, it's a choice. It's a fucking choice. The more you do it, your brain will naturally do it. But there are still times where you have to make that choice. Things are going to happen and come up where I still make that choice. I catch it so much faster so I don't start to spiral in it. But it's always a fucking choice. Because some coaches want money, yeah. What do you think about religions? I think all religions are teaching the exact same thing, and organized religion is just to control people. Being Middle Eastern and coming from a Muslim family, we talk about Judgment Day and how many Predictions have come true. I know how the law of the universe works, but sometimes I can't help but think what happens after death, and it scares me. I've had very interesting experiences with death, and I don't think there's anything to be afraid of, but whatever you believe will be proven to you to be true. You can accept or reject whatever. I think that making people afraid of death is just it's a control tactic. I saw somebody speaking about being Muslim and being like, yeah, it's just the law of assumption. Just we go about it a little bit differently. Hey Sonia, how are you? I'm fucking amazing, Moons. How are you? Yeah, Islam relies a lot on repetition, and it clicked for me and why Muslims have such a strong faith. See, there you go. But now you understand that you can accept or reject anything. You don't have to think the things that you're being told to think. Like, that's your choice. You can live whatever life you want to. Doing great. Yay. Yes, definitely. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. Because you have to remember, no one knows what you're thinking unless you tell them what you're thinking. So you can do whatever you want. And just because you tell somebody, happy December, yes, happy December. It's crazy that it's December. But you can think whatever you want, and even if you tell somebody something just because you're like, I don't want to get into an argument with this person, or I don't want to, this person to know what I truly think on this topic, you can tell them whatever you fucking want and still tell yourself whatever you want. Like, and it's not going to hurt your manifestation unless you tell yourself that it does. It's going to be a good month. I agree. It's going to be an awesome month. Happy December. My birthday was yesterday. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday. That's awesome. Yeah, yesterday was my 6-month anniversary of being on YouTube. You got your laptop. Look at you. A brand new one. Was it exactly the one you wanted? And that other one was just birds? That's so fun. Thank you. Congrats. Oh, thank you. That's the only success story of the week. It's a pretty good one, though. That's a good one. I love that. I wanted a new laptop. My friend gave me a very old laptop. Didn't really want that laptop. Wanted a new laptop. Got it. Fucking love that. It's awesome. Can I manifest a very old grade, like very old, a year ago? I just want to, like, changing the score. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. You're only going to know what's possible for you if you try to do it. So, just whatever the grade was when you think about it now, spend some time revising it. Just like you would affirm or visualize or spend time manifesting anything else, just that you got whatever grade you wanted to. Yep, a new laptop, not exactly the one I wanted, but it's actually a nice one. Nice, and I'm happy with it. See, everything always works out. It's so great being here, but I gotta go. Good night. Thank you for making me believe in myself. You're welcome, Amina. Have a good night. You got this. You got this. You're welcome. Yeah, you guys, the past is only real if you decide that it is. If you keep thinking about how that grade was this, then you're right. You just can't go looking for, like, checking to see if it changed. Like, when you'll find out that it changed one way or another. Yep, only the present moment exists. That one. And the more you realize that, I find now that things that used to really bother me don't because of that. It's like, well, all that's real is the present moment. So, like you said, Sonia, we can think about the past how we want. Exactly. Hi. You can think about anything however you want. Literally anything. Our brains don't even actually accurately remember the past. Yeah, I was just talking about this. It's like they've the they've done this in many ways, but one way they've done it is people who witness crimes. They'll have their statement of what happened, and then over time their memory of what happened will change. Like you're doing this anyway. You're changing the past anyway. You're just doing it like in little ways. But if you want to, you can do it in big ways. I manifested almost verbatim an apology and respectful treatment within 20 minutes yesterday. Look at you after conversation which I didn't react to and politely ended, went straight into imagination afterward. There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do it. Guys, I manifested a dentist telling me I'm taking my braces off because my teeth are straight when she literally told me last week I needed more than 2 months. Look at that. Look at that, Miracle. You're fucking awesome at this. Yep, facts. The brain is so interesting. Laugh out loud. Yeah, the brain is interesting. It is interesting. See, you guys know exactly what the fuck you're doing. If you can get those kind of things to manifest, you can get anything else to manifest because all manifestation is the same. Things just feel different because you have more of attachments to it or more past with it or whatever, but it's all the same. Hi. Yep, we sure do, Sonia. We're the only thing making one thing harder to manifest than the other. I know it doesn't always seem like that's true, but eventually, if you keep doing it, you'll see it and be like, fuck, the only thing standing in my way this whole time was me. And if you're like me, that was like overwhelming to kind of come to that conclusion. But then, it's an adventure. Sonia, do you listen to subliminals? I have. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah, it just depends on my mood. I am so all over the place anymore, like with what I do for manifesting. I don't, it's like whatever I want to do right now. Do you have any favorite go-to affirmations? My favorite go-to affirmation for a long time was, "Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect." But I don't really affirm like I used to because my affirmations I was affirming are now my default mindset. So now when things come up, it's just about seeing it from a different perspective for me personally. But for a while there, "Isn't it wonderful?" or "Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect." Whenever anything would happen and I was like, I don't know what to affirm, I would just affirm that. Or when I was really overwhelmed and not knowing, like, I wanted to change so many things in my life, I just went with that one. The old me would have freaked out. I was blown away. I needed that in order to be shown it's all a mirror. See? That. If you are on this journey, the things will unfold to show you and help you understand exactly what you need to understand. Just asking, wondering. I used to. Yeah, I used to more too, but now I'm like, eh. Congratulations on your laptop. Yeah, it's awesome. The 3D is a mirror. It truly is. Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree. Or a shadow or past thought programming. Once you start to see the connection between what you have been thinking recently and what is happening now, you're like, okay, yeah. When you have those experiences of like, oh, I didn't think that this, I wouldn't have expected this outcome, but I'm doing something completely different than I would have in the past, reacting in a completely different way, and you see it change in a different way is crazy. Is everyone a mirror or just people close in your life? Every single person on this planet is who you think they are. No one is exempt from that because your experience is whatever you tell yourself that it is. Your thoughts are your reality, they are your experience. So, any person, even if you just pass them on the street, is whoever you think they are. Everyone, the whole vast world is a mirror. Yep. Nothing and no one is exempt from your perspective of them. Because your reality is your perspective, your thoughts. And when you change your view of anything, the outside changes to prove you're right. Hi, Sonia. I've been robotically affirming literally nonstop. I have some old beliefs pop up like I'm not detaching or I must be in a lax state if I'm affirming so much. What are your thoughts? Stop fucking looking for what's wrong and just focus on things being the way you want them to be. It didn't happen as fast as you think it should, so now you're looking for problems to fix to try and make it work. Just affirm and let the rest of this shit go. Your thoughts are your true reality. What you are telling yourself is your true reality. The more you focus on that and let the rest go, the faster it'll work. Yeah, it was truly what I needed, and I'm so grateful for that experience. Yeah, I've had so many of those experiences, so many things that came up, and it was like, what the fuck? And then I chose to show up differently, and they ended up being massive learning experiences. Sonia, you spoke about this. But I have been applying the concept you mentioned about life being about life being meaningless, and it does wonders. Right? Right? When everything is you pushed out and nothing has meaning, you're putting the meaning to everything, and you can choose to think about things however the fuck you want. I have noticed we assign meaning to things based on our self-concept. Yep, you do. And it's all comes from you and your past experiences and your beliefs. And if you take a step back and be like, none of this has meaning, I can think about it however I want, it's fucking huge. How do you know what your limiting belief is? What do you think about all the time? What are your thoughts about the topic? Are they thoughts that support what you want, or are they bullshit? Because your bullshit thoughts are your limiting beliefs. And it's a choice to keep thinking them or think something else. That's it. Yes, we assign the meaning, so we may as well shift to assigning good meaning, if any. Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree. 1000% agree. Sometimes when you really think about it, that stupid thought manifested. It's fun to realize small things that you have thought about materialized. It's like proof after proof. Yeah. Like I said, you're manifesting everything. Everything is a manifestation. The more you realize that, the more you are like, okay, I need to be on top of my brain because, yeah. And you can. That's the thing. Like, you can do it. Where did you start with changing your self-concept? I had a billion different fucking self-concept affirmations that I was trying to affirm all day, and I couldn't even remember them all. And then I just realized, kind of that like looking for limiting beliefs thing, I just realized there was more and more and more and more I wanted to change about myself. And one day I was sitting there and I was like, I could just tell myself I'm perfect. I was like, I can't tell myself that. That would be wrong. I'm like, why the fuck not? No, I can't do that. So I was like kind of playing with it, had my toe in the water a little bit. It felt so weird. And I shit you not, within a few days, Sammy Ingram posted a video. So I was sitting at Starbucks and was like, why don't we just start telling ourselves we're perfect? And that's the ultimate self concept. And there you go. And I went full in on that. And I never looked back. And it gets proven to us to be true. Love it. Yeah, everything gets proven to be true. So, question, I was diagnosed with a disease. Did I manifest it? Why would I do that? I'm not the person to fucking ask that. Your thoughts create everything. If you're having a lot of shitty thoughts that are causing dis-ease in your body, it will cause diseases. Go watch Joe Dispenza if you want more information on that. That's not my field of expertise. But I can tell you, you can fucking get rid of it. And the more you question, why did this happen and why am I a victim of my reality? Guess what? You're going to be proven right. So focus on being healthy and don't give a shit about why it manifested and where it came from. Who cares? You're healthy now. The end. That's so awesome. Sonia simplified. Yeah. I'm about fucking simple. I don't go digging and figuring out where shit came from or why did this manifest or how did that happen or who cares? Once you understand that you control it and you can change it, just focus on having what you want. If you didn't unconsciously manifest it, it's not your fault. I think what you meant was if you didn't consciously manifest it, it's not your fault. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I don't have that disease anymore. Exactly. So none of that even matters. Just tell yourself, I got it to prove myself I could get rid of it. If you have to fucking this is where I was talking with Moons. It's meaningless. Everything is meaningless. You're the one putting the meaning to it. Does it matter that you have it or is it gone? Like, you can think whatever you want to about it. Same here. It manifested so we can manifest perfect health. Exactly that. Yep, agree with Sonia. Focus on being healthy. That. Yeah, I didn't know about manifesting before, but now all events in my life make sense. Mm-hmm. Yep. And now you have the know-how and the awareness to change whatever you want to. But the more you beat yourself up for where you are, there's no point in doing that. There's no point in being like, oh my God, what was I doing that caused this to happen? Like, I don't know, but I'm going to be more aware of the thoughts that just be more aware and be sure to focus on things the way I want them to be. Because that's all you have control over anyway. You will keep it in your reality if you keep focusing on your problems. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love that so much, Sonia. I feel like it's such a waste of time to go digging and dwelling in why things happened. The focus then goes to undesired shit. Yeah, it does. The thing I do anymore is I don't give a shit what's happening. I don't give a shit if it may have been my shitty thoughts that created a situation in my life. Somehow, some way, this is getting me everything I've ever wanted. And letting the rest go. I don't know why this had to happen in order for me to get what I want, but I'm getting what I want. Because the more you go looking for limiting beliefs and thinking you have limiting beliefs and thinking that there's something wrong with you, guess what? You're right. And until you're willing to just drop all that shit, blocks don't exist. Exactly that. Exactly that. Blocks don't exist. Limiting beliefs don't really even exist. Your limiting beliefs are just shitty thoughts. I used to think they were like these things that were hidden and I had to like find them and fix them. And it's literally, I have so much money is a limitless thought. I can have whatever I want. And I could never have money. I'm so poor is a limiting belief, meaning that like nothing could possibly change because this is true. Like that's it. A belief is a belief. Yep. A thought is a thought. Either accept it or reject it. And don't worry about micromanaging every fucking thought. It's the ones that you consistently tell yourself, the ones you consistently go back to, are the ones that are going to manifest. I've noticed people should just affirm that their self-concept is perfect because focus is what creates. Yeah. Yeah. And I had heard, was it Naya? I think it was Naya talking about how she was tired of her self-concept and was just like, I have a perfect self-concept. I have a perfect self-concept. And that worked for her too. That's so awesome. When I kept thinking I had to work on my self-concept, nothing changed. Yeah. Same. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. And it wasn't just my self-concept. As long as you focus on there being something that needs to be fixed, you're right. Something's wrong. Hi, Jacqueline. How's Miami? Or are you home again? You're home? Did you have a good trip? Okay, from here on out, I'm not focused on needing to fix. Yeah, there's nothing to fix. It's I always think of the Albert Einstein quote. You can't fix a problem from the same state of thinking in which it was created. You only have solutions. There's a solution. I don't have a problem. It fixed itself. It worked itself out. Just keep changing thoughts. Yes, planning another one. Ooh, fun. Where are you going to go this time? It was an amazing experience. Yeah. Yeah. Because that shit, especially like self-concept stuff, it'll start to change really quickly when you stop focusing on there being a problem and trying to fix that and trying to do this and blah, blah, like. Because there's nothing and no one else involved in that kind of a manifestation. It's literally just you. And it can change super fucking fast. Not that other things can't happen really fast too, but like. Yes, it does, Sonia. I spent a long time trying to figure out my limiting beliefs. Me too. Me too. And then I dropped looking for limiting beliefs, but I was still like, something has to be wrong because nothing's changing. Not realizing that I just needed to persist, basically. Just keep going. Put different meanings to things. Tell different stories. Make up whatever bullshit you want to that tells you that you are getting what you want. Because when you take a step back and you look at things, you realize, oh, well, I don't even know that this is actually what's happening. I'm just taking the little bit of information that I have and deciding that that's what's happening. So I've had people coming with, they're ignoring me or I'm being ghosted, shit like that. And it's like, what happened is somebody didn't text you when you thought they should. And then you decided that you're now being ignored or you're being ghosted. And now you're simmering and stewing in that. And guess what? You're right. When you could take a step back and be like, no, they're not ignoring me. They're just busy. They're just busy. Oh my God, who was it? Somebody was like, oh, when that shit happens, you need to just be like, they fell in a well. That's why they're not talking to me. I'm like, that's hilarious. And the other one, Sheila had the best one. She's like, he's in the street watching anime, you know, like at the TV stores where they have the TVs, and he's in the street watching anime. You can literally tell yourself whatever the fuck you want to. Why are you going to sit there and be like, they're ignoring me? That shit comes back to your self-concept. You think that there's something they would rather be doing that, like, you should be ignored, basically. So basically, just change your thoughts and stories to new ones and stay there. Yeah. And if you go back to the old ones, don't beat yourself up. Just be like, oh yeah, that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore. That's how I manifested away my anxiety. Just told myself I have perfect mental health. That's a good one. Oh my God, wow, that is huge. Yeah. And you persisted. Yeah, exactly. That's the key. That's the much easier way of manifesting your mental health. I went the kind of longer route, but it still worked. Oh, that's really hilarious. I love how ridiculous and fun it can be. Yeah. I was like, I like the one about, oh, he just fell in a well, but I'm like, knowing me, that would actually manifest and then I would feel really bad. But at the same time, if he called me and was like, yeah, I kind of fell in a well, I would never let him live that down ever. I'd be like, do we need Lassie? Do we need to get a Lassie dog? Protect you from falling in those wells? Like, it would never fucking end. Can I manifest Ryan Reynolds? You can do whatever the fuck you want to. Everyone is you pushed out. Celebrities are no different. Try EFT tapping if your emotions overwhelm you. Yeah, EFT helped me a lot. I've come across a lot of things that have helped me, but I think knowing that if you're affirming that kind of stuff, the answers are going to come to you. What you need to do for you is gonna find you. Be open to following the breadcrumbs that start to show up. Oh, I want to Google search this, or I want to try that, or I want to just tell myself I'm perfect because I'm tired of all this other shit. Oh yeah, I've been beating myself up for not making manifest my health, physical and mental. No more beating myself up and no more fixing. Yeah, it's already done. EFT, Reiki, body emotion code, etc. Exactly. What is body emotion code? I haven't heard of that one. Okay, thanks. I was just thinking about that yesterday. See? See, that's how this shit shows up. I tell myself he's here in the house or he just came, and literally go back to what I was doing or just enjoy the feeling and the thoughts of the relationship I want. Exactly that. Exactly that. I'm a certified Reiki master, so you'd think I could have done this already. Haha. You know, don't beat yourself up. Now you're more aware of it. You just have to remind yourself. Because just because you know it doesn't mean you always remember to do it. Like, and it's okay. Sonia, I can't wait to update you on my cute guy success story pending. Oh, I know. Oh, that's really cool. It's pulling trapped emotions out of your body. I can show you how to do it. Oh, fun. I'm gonna have to look that up. Do I have paper? Because I will forget that. Body emotion code. Interesting. Yeah, there are so many different techniques and so many different ways to do things, you guys. You just be open to trying them. December will be a month full of success stories. I agree. So much is going to happen in December. It's going to be awesome. We're all going to be going into 2024 with a bang. Yeah, you can pay people to do it, but you can learn yourself. It got rid of my social anxiety. That's awesome. Moons is intending we all get our shit. Yeah. Absolutely. I have that same intention. That sounds amazing. April, I'd love to learn that. It will. Yeah, 2024 is gonna be the best year fucking ever. It's gonna be awesome. Mm-hmm. I agree. I'll make a how-to video on TikTok. Yes. It has to be, we decide. Yep. 2023 was a crazy year for me. Me too. Me too. It's the year I changed my mindset. Yeah, me too. Oh, you were that April. Okay. Yeah, I want to see. You're gonna have to make a video. I'm gonna have to check it out because I've literally never heard of that before. And got so much manifestations, it was ridiculous. Cool, I'll check it out. I'm all for, like, I have learned so many different techniques over the years. And I'll tell you, a lot of them I don't remember and weren't helpful for me. But then there were a lot that have been, and I just am always come back to that, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. In the moment, you know, I kind of look at it like training for CPR, right? Like you do that so that if you ever need it, you're prepared. Kind of like that. And at the moment, like I have the shit that works for me, and it's just, for me, it's being very present and just allowing and being in the moment and allowing myself to be guided where I need to go. This might help you guys. Yesterday, I did a love meditation. So you just meditate on love, and I just think about what I love, and then I start visualizing it. It was HD. Wow, that never happened. That's so fun. That's super fun. Yep, it's called the law of assumption for a reason. Yep, everybody's assumption is different. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can change, do what works. Exactly that. You can change whatever beliefs, you can decide whatever things you want to be into work for you. You can take what you learn from other people and be like, yeah, but I'd rather do it this way than just fucking do it. Do it that way. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. Who cares what the experts say, and who cares? If it works for you, it works for you. My LOA coach is always telling me I'm doing stuff wrong, but isn't everyone's experience different? Yeah, it is. As long as you are just telling yours, as long as you are focusing on having what you want, how you go about it is up to you. The only thing that you can do wrong is continuously tell yourself shit you don't want to be true. That's not the type of coach you want. When people ask me questions, I'm speaking from my experience and how I would handle shit. It doesn't mean that everything I'm telling you is the law. It's not. It's just from my experience, this is how I would deal with it. Because I'm coming back from, it's just you need to be focusing on telling yourself what you want to be true. Yeah, I think I need to fire him. He told me to give him more money, and when I said no, he said I'm not committed and I'll never get my manifestations. Oh, girl, run. What the fuck? No. That's bad. That's like a cult leader bullshit. Oh, well, I'm magical and I'll get you your no. Mm-mm. No. Absolutely not. Yeah, get rid of him. The coach is wrong. Yeah. No. No. The coach is wrong, not you or what you're doing. I fucking agree with that. He's big on TikTok. Unfortunately, he preys on the newbies. Ugh. Those type of people annoy me. Me too. Me too. I'll tell you right now, there is nothing that I'm going to tell you in coaching other than like more personalized shit cuz I'm talking with you that I haven't talked about on YouTube or TikTok. I don't gatekeep fucking anything cuz there's nothing to gatekeep. It's your fucking thoughts. If I try to gatekeep shit, like how I there's nothing to gatekeep. Those type of people annoy me. They prey on innocent people. Yeah, I just did a video about that. I watched that documentary on Netflix about twin flames. Scary shit. Scary, scary shit. Oh, wow, that doesn't sound like a coach at all. Mm-mm. Yep, he said this Goddard has... He said this Goddard has never said. That's why I was like, maybe it's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. You don't... No. Oh my god, some people get suicidal because of twin flames. It's very dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. I never got really into the twin flame shit, but it's scary. I just finished the twin flame documentary. It was so sad. I had no idea what I was getting into when I started watching it. And at the end of the first episode, I was like, "Oh, this is worse than I thought it was going to be and this is bad." And then going in, it's like 3 episodes long, and I go into the next episode and I'm like, this took a turn I was not expecting and is way worse than I thought it was. Like, it's horrible. I'm not really on TikTok, so I only watch some channels and coaches on YouTube who are solid. Yeah. It took such a dark turn. It did. It truly did. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. So scary. So scary. It's people who meet someone that they fall deeply in love with and then hear the term twin flame and run with it. Oh yeah. Well, the beginning of that documentary, the guy who started all of it, they're like, he was learning how to be a cult leader. And he's got it fucking down. Why did you watch that? I went on Netflix. I was watching something else and was like, huh, I'm sure that's interesting. And then was it Naya talked about that she actually joined that group and then left? And I was like, okay, I'm interested. I'm curious. And you have to remember, I was in a law of attraction cult, so I was like, the thing I got from it was, wow, it could have been a lot fucking worse. Cult leaders are very dangerous. Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. It's very fucking scary. I believe in twin flames, but I don't think it's always romantic and definitely not to be meant to be toxic. Yeah. Oh, being like, oh, you have to be with your twin flame. From this documentary, they're like, you have to be with your twin flame. You have to do whatever it takes. Like, people were getting restraining orders because they were like trying to get people to fall in love with it. Like, is fucking scary. Trying to recover my TikTok accounts. Just say you got it recovered. You got it. A lot of them crave power and probably don't get a lot of attention as children from their parents. Yeah, it's something. It's very fucking scary. Very fucking scary. Nope, I don't believe in one too. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, thank you for that, for all that. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I got my TikTok account back. I felt so bad for the girl who went to jail. I know, right? And I think there were multiple people who went to jail and like still it fucking wild. Glad you got out and Naya got out. Yeah, I wasn't in that one. Like that wasn't what I was involved in, but I was involved with a coach that made everything dependent on her. And it was when I found Sammy and well, it was when I found the law of assumption that I started to question what my coach was saying. And then once I found Sammy Ingram and it was like, it's your thoughts and this, that was the ending point for me where I'm like, this bitch has no idea what she's talking about. We get to decide who the one is. I agree. I think it's called Escaping Twin Flames. I think that's what it's called. If you have Netflix and you search Twin Flames, it's whatever comes up from that one. What was the Law of Attraction cult like, if you don't mind sharing? It was just a coach in a coaching group that was, I don't know that she's necessarily trying to be a cult leader. She's a coach that does group coaching, but all of her stuff is all dependent on you needing her. Like you don't script, you script this very special way 5 years out and you have to do this workshop where I tell you what to script in order for you to get your shit to change. And oh, you want that specific job? Well, you'll either get that or something better, and you can't decide who falls in love with you, and you can't decide who wants to be with you, and you can't do this, and you can't manifest that, but everything's possible. Like that. From what I can tell, it sounds like there's a lot of toxicity in the law of attraction community. Yeah, it's because it gets people views, it's popular. I just saw somebody, oh my god, I can't remember who it was on TikTok. I don't there's so many people I've seen on TikTok, I don't remember who they are. Like I visually remember them, but I don't know them by their names. But he's like, you've got to fucking be kidding me that people are eating this shit up. It was somebody being like, oh, if you want your specific person, you're going to put spit behind your ear and do this for 7 seconds and then they're yours. And he's like, and this has thousands of likes, like 20,000 likes or some shit. More, maybe it was more than that. 120, it was a fuck ton. He's like, you guys are ridiculous. This is so bad. But it gets fucking attention. And that's why people do that shit. And it's hurting people. Yeah, I think it's called Escaping Twin Flames. A sign that someone is not a good coach is that they make you feel like things are outside of you. Yeah. Oh, you need me in order to explain it to you. You need to change your thoughts. That's it. Yep, any group that makes you dependent on the person or program is a no-go. We're supposed to learn the techniques and move forward. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it makes you powerless in a sneaky way. I have seen a lot of fraudsters on YouTube. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of them. There's a lot. There are so many. And here's the thing, for some people, some of the shit they say works because they're like, "Oh, that's all I have to do and it's done." And then it worked for them. But for most people, they do it and they don't change them and then nothing changes. Maybe they should focus on changing their money beliefs. I agree. Lots of frauds on TikTok. Oh yeah. It's some of the shit I've seen is like, holy crap. You can't manifest your SP without my program. Yep. Yep. Wasn't it you, April, that's like somebody was charging like 4 grand? You have to have a perfect self-concept, so pay me 4 grand in order to make that happen. Instead of scamming innocent people who want to change their lives. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They need to apply what they supposedly are teaching. Do a blue moon program to get your SP in 3 days. Yep. Yep. Going a few spaces left. Yep, that's exactly what it said. Yep. I love hearing success stories on YouTube. Me too. Yeah, only a few spaces left. That's the Yep, hurry, we're going to start tomorrow and if you don't buy right now, it's not going to work. Yep, Dina charges 7K for SP Manifestation Goddess charges 10K to heal all of your trauma. Wow. 7 grand per month? Nikki's channel is Manifest For Me. That was her channel. She just changed it like the other day to something else. But yeah, that's the right Nikki. If you go to Flossie's channel, which is Your Thoughts Create, it may be linked there because they work together. They're both Sammy's coaches. Whoa, people are doing this? Damn, yeah. 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 Like, how can you even be okay with yourself by hurting people? That's the part I don't understand. I don't. And it's like, that's where I know with speaking on this topic, like I am very fucking serious about I want you to take your power back. Don't give it to me. Don't come to me with every fucking question that you have. Learn to trust yourself because the law is just whatever you tell yourself is true is true. That's it. These scammers don't understand the law of assumption. They don't. They don't. They found something that they can turn into a business and profit off of. And they don't care if they hurt people. I think people should get paid for their services, but there are coaches who charge ridiculous amount of money to claim to want to help people. I think it's ridiculous. Yeah. When they're like, I'll help you heal all of your trauma. I only watch 5 channels on YouTube and just found yours, Sonia. Oh, I'm glad I'm one of the ones you watch. They use the information from it and don't practice it properly. I agree. I agree. And then it confuses people even more because people are speaking on something they don't understand. Because if they did apply the law of assumption properly, they wouldn't be scamming people. I agree. Even Joe Dispenza says you have to do the work, and his retreats are around $2,000. Yeah. You have to do the work. The end. I do have a couple questions about time. I get mixed information. You can't control when and how versus you can control when and how. All you can do is focus on change your thoughts. That's it. That's the only thing you will ever have control over, ever. Exactly when and exactly how things will show up, you have no control over. If you tell yourself, I'm going to have this by this date, and that is what you come back to as if it is a fact set in stone and there is nothing and no one who can tell you fucking otherwise, it's more than likely going to happen by that date. It's all dependent on you. But the more you waver and the more you question and the more you like, is it actually going to happen? And what if it doesn't happen? And you do not have control over how you get your manifestation. But the more you get triggered by the 3D and waver and doubt and go back and forth, it's not going to work because it's working perfectly, because that's where your dominant focus is. And if it causes you more stress and is just an added layer of shit to pay attention to put time frames on shit, then I don't recommend doing that. Joe Dispenza is sneaky too, but that's my assumption. Yeah, I've never really gotten into his stuff. I know some people like his meditations. I don't know. I know I can change that, laugh out loud. Yeah, maybe that's what's being proven to be true. It could be. I've had that feeling too, Moons. So many people have healed from incredible things, so I've tried out the meditations in the past. Everyone is us pushed out. That's a very real concept, so I try to be careful what I assume about people. My sister recommended him a few years ago. I know Abraham Hicks and a few others talk about meditation. I've just never enjoyed meditation, so I don't do it. Exactly. This is your reality. Do whatever works for you. Jody has good information, but that's easily a cult, so I just grab info and run. Haha. See? You gotta do what works for you. Like I said, I've never really gotten into his stuff or listening to him. I just know that when it comes to like health stuff, he has crazy success stories. All we have to do is think from the reality we want to be in. Agreed. It does feel culty, but I try to see past that and just be inspired by the success testimonies. Yeah. And just do whatever techniques resonate with you. Exactly. Right, this is probably why I've kept searching for something outside of me to heal me. Yeah. Or to hear me. It's all what you think it is, and the more you understand that, the faster shit will change. It's a lot of crazy stories with him. There's a woman who worked with Joe and she was able to walk again. Yeah, I've heard there's some crazy fucking healing stories. But it just goes to show you what's possible. Everything's possible. But you have to decide that it's possible. it's all just your thoughts. Well, it's more your beliefs, but your thoughts are how you get shit to change, where you choose to put your focus in the present moment. And you always have a choice. Am I going to allow these things that seem like a limitation, that seem like it's impossible, that seems like this couldn't happen, stand in my way, or am I going to choose that it's going to fucking work out? There was a man who had cancer. He was completely healed after working with Joe. Yeah, there's a lot of those stories. But lately, I've been reminding myself that it's all me, and that's where the work must be done. I must change. Been working on my thoughts every day. Yeah, exactly. And if you're doing that, that's all you can do. Just keep doing that. If you're doing that to the best of your ability, it's gonna work. So tell yourself it's gonna work. I think I will read some of his books to learn more about the crazy healing stories. Yeah. I've never read any of his books. That's right. It's probably why I've been searching for something outside of me to heal myself. It starts with you deciding that you're healed and then allowing the rest to unfold. And whatever you're led to, trust it. Because you may be led to something outside of you to heal you. You don't know. He basically says it's all about mental rehearsal and feeling elevated emotions, but the past part is where I don't agree. Elevated emotion is LOA toxic positivity. Have you seen his YouTube channel? There are so many testimonials on it. So I have manifested so much shit without having an emotional response to it. My emotional response, my feelings were the exact opposite of what I fucking wanted, yet it still manifested. So if that's what works for him and that's what he can get people to believe will work for them, then that's what they'll believe. But it is, to me personally, from my own experience, the more you keep this in check and allow the rest to unfold and follow the breadcrumbs, go down the rabbit holes, and trust yourself, you're going to find the answers. No, I haven't, but thanks for the recommendation. Feelings don't manifest, only thoughts do. I agree. Now, does it like is it is it more enjoyable when you feel good? Yeah. But when I first started, like I said, I was a fucking disaster. When I left a cult, found out that everything I had been doing and put so much energy into for over 3 years was all bullshit, and that it was just your thoughts that you think the most that will manifest, and that everything is possible and it's all you. After like a week or two of like losing my shit, I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and robotically affirmed to get a job in a week. And it fucking did it. Do you think I felt good? Do you think there was like the heart mind coherence? Do you think that any of that shit was going on? Absolutely not. I was a disaster area and it still fucking worked. Like you said, what you believe works and will be proven to you to be true. Yeah. I'm into that, Moons, because with what I'm going through, I currently don't have access to positive emotions. Changing this story, though. See? Everything's perfect. I'm so happy. Everything worked out perfectly. Bringing yourself back to that. I know, like, things happen and you get off track, but Don't allow having a bad day or a bad week to be like, oh, I fucked it up and now it's never gonna work. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and fucking revise it at the end of the day if you have to. So if you think Joe's teaching worked, then what? Then that's what would be proven to you to be true. I agree. I healed my swelling in 2 hours with just affirmations once. See? Hi. I can heal myself with just my thoughts. Yep. But I would not get caught up on, oh, I'm just gonna like wake up and be healed. Like that's because then you're controlling the how. Just focus on that you are healed and let the rest unfold. I've tried them, but can't get the elevated emotion. I had a brain injury and it blunted my good emotions. Well, not anymore. You are healed. You inspire me. Oh, thank you. I just realized I was the problem and the solution. Oh, it's fun when you realize that. Yep, agree. Yep. Things only continue to be a problem if you tell yourself that you're a problem. Your limiting beliefs are just the beliefs, the thoughts that you continuously tell yourself that limit you. That's it. Do I want this to continue to be true or no? Okay, well then I'm going to let that go and focus on this. And the more you do it and the more you realize that what you tell yourself is your experience and is true in the moment and will create your reality, the more you just fucking do it. And you do it with bigger shit and you don't even, it's just what you do. Just like now you look at the 3D and you make assumptions and you're like, oh, well, this happened, so that must happen, and this other thing must be true, and blah, blah, blah. You just start doing it differently. Yes, it's easy to forget sometimes, but right now I choose not to forget. Yeah. I forget less and less and less, honestly. Because my old state was anxiety, depression, misery, feeling like shit, like my body was like so tense and whatever, and now I'm the exact opposite. I'm relaxed, I'm happy, I feel amazing. So when I start to feel like I'm like, what the hell is going on up here? Because this needs to be addressed. Trixie, try to affirm you are always happy and persist with it. It will work. I did this. Hi, Patricia. I'm about to have an exam on Tuesday. I'm really stressed because I haven't much time to study for it. I feel I will fail. Any way to change my mindset? Stop telling yourself you're going to fail and that there's something to be anxious about. I have plenty of time to study. I know all the answers. I got an A or whatever grade system. I got a perfect grade. It was so easy. That test was so easy. I had plenty of time to study. There's nothing to worry about. I always know the answers. I'm so good at taking tests. I love taking tests. Whenever you want to sit there and stew and how, oh my God, I don't have enough time. You're fucking right. You don't. Oh my God, I'm going to fail. Yeah, you're fucking right. You probably will. That shit has to go. I always get good grades on my tests. I got this grade. I know the answers. I know this topic. I have plenty of time to study. And you choose that over anything else. It's choice. Thanks, Moons. I've been affirming I am happy, healthy, and thriving. That is one of my go-to affirmations, and that is my go-to affirmation for other people. Because if people are happy, healthy, and thriving, I don't have to get any more detailed with other people. I usually have to be fully and completely honest with myself and what I'm thinking for me to feel this way. Yeah, this is all about being honest with yourself for sure. Sometimes go more into happiness or health or vitality, but that's the focus I've been having in affirming new stories. Exactly. Just keep doing that. Exactly. Like Moon said, keep going. It works. You're welcome, Patricia. Yeah, you aced that test. It was so easy. You knew all the answers. One of my favorite affirmations is I'm healthy in every way. Thank you, Sonia. I love how real you are and how you prove it's simple. Oh, thank you. It is simple. It was made so complicated by so many fucking people that made my life so miserable and made like I learned about manifesting in 2018 and didn't start to understand it until the middle of 2022. And I didn't fully start to grasp it until this year. And I'll tell you, part of my journey in truly starting to understand this shit was having to get on YouTube and TikTok and talk about it. I have learned so much about it from making content about it and having people ask me questions about it. Because people asked me questions about it made me have to think about it in ways that I wasn't just thinking about it myself. I kept saying that everything works out for me before a pop quiz because I didn't know we had a test. And I got 4 out of 5 and I didn't study. And the next time it happened, my professor canceled the test. Look at you. That's awesome. See? See, Patricia, you're getting signs and birds. Like, it's possible. That's how you do it. I know the answers. This test was so easy. You are living proof, Sonia. I try to be. I try to be as real as I can with you guys, and I'll be honest, there are topics that I don't want to talk about at this moment, but I'll talk about them at some point. But what I talk about is from my experience and the things that I wish somebody would have told me. I learned about the law of assumption in 2020 after me and my ex were on bad terms. Laugh out loud. I am grateful. I truly believe it was a bridge of incidents to lead me to the law of assumption. Yep. Life is so easy and fun for me. Yes, exactly. That's a good one. Seriously, Sonia. That's awesome that your go-to as AFF. Oh, my go-to affirmation. You were talking about the happy, healthy, and thriving. I'm like, what is this in regards to? Yeah. Yeah. I came up with that. It was almost a year ago that my grandpa fell and broke his leg. And I was like, I need a fucking affirmation. And I was like trying to micromanage it and micromanage the how and all the shit. And I was like, happy, healthy, and thriving. Happy, healthy, and thriving. It covers everything. It was it was first relationship. I didn't even know what I was doing. My next relationship will be magical. Hell yeah. Your new relationship is magical. Oh yeah, Moons was already talking earlier about her cute guy she's manifesting. Yes. Honestly, the more I do this, the more I kind of use will be and is as meaning the same exact thing. Because you're still thinking from the same experience of things being good. I learned about law of assumption mid 2021, but didn't fully get it until this year after much trial and error with what works for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you're not willing to go through that trial and error, that's why I'm like, you need to become your own guru, your own science project. You need to try things and see what happens. Because the more you're like, oh, well, I did it and it didn't work. And like the only way you can fail, truly fail, is to give up. If you keep going, persisting in any way, even if you're changing your affirmations and you're changing your techniques, you're doing all that shit, if as long as you keep going, you'll figure it out. I was just watching videos and not applying the law. Yeah. At least you applied. Hey, I think we're all on our own journey, and there's definitely, I think everybody has that moment of you're just absorbing information because you're like, what? And especially because so many people tell you so much different shit. Prior to that, it was all law of attraction ever since early 2000s. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, I deprogramming myself from all the law of attraction shit. I would have picked this up a lot faster if I would have just found law of assumption first. The injury is what led me to the law, and I'm so grateful. See, there you go. Affirmation. There you go. Yeah. I'm not great with abbreviations, and people use like text abbreviations. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. I feel like law of assumption started trending in 2020. Kind of makes sense. So where did I read this? I don't remember. I think it was in a book about psychedelics. But somebody was like, whoever was like, um it's really interesting that it was like 6 weeks after the first atomic bomb was tested that they discovered LSD, and they were like, that was God trying to save us from ourselves. And it's like it feels like the law of assumption made its like reemergence right when we needed it the most. That was for me a year of trying to understand and digest it all. We all have that time period. I truly believe everyone here was led to the law of assumption for a reason. I agree. I agree with that too, Trixie. Like we were led to it. I don't have any other. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Neville talks about learning. He went to Barbados. The whole Barbados story, I believe, took place in 1933. I mean, we're coming on 100 years of that, right? From that moment of when Neville started to understand this shit. Like, and before Neville, I believe Florence Scovel Shinn wrote her first book in 1925 is when it was published. And there are people who are writing about this shit before. Like I said, like the Bible and all religious texts is talking about the same shit. It's time human beings remember the fucking truth. I agree, we were led to it. We were definitely led to. Yeah, there is no coincidences. That one right there. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. I don't. And I don't necessarily think it's the like, oh, well, it happened for a reason, but like it is that it happened for a reason. Like Abdullah was using the law of assumption most of his life. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he learned from somebody who had been doing it their whole life. I don't like to put negative thing content like context to like why we don't know, because I just know that that's perpetuating that being true, and that's shitty for that to be true. But all I know is right now is the time for people to fucking remember how shit actually works. And by doing that, things are going to fucking change. I had the most wild comment on TikTok. I just blocked this person. I'm like, I'm not getting involved. I did a video about revision, and this person was like, "Ugh, could you imagine what would happen if everyone just started doing that? The whole world would fall apart." I'm like, then let's watch it burn. Why not? I agree. He learned it from somewhere. Yeah. I I absolutely agree. Everyone learned it from somewhere. Manifesting is illogical. Yep. We have been putting our faith, if you will, in logic for too long. I was listening to a part of one of Neville's lectures where he was like, I use faith and belief interchangeably. And it's literally just you telling yourself that that's the way things are until it shows up that way. Our logical minds can't understand it. We all know. We all know that is how it works. I agree. I agree. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Revision is real and it works. These are ancient teachings. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. Neville blew up for some reason. And he's not the only one who blew up and was teaching this shit. It just, the thing that sticks out to me about Neville is how much he understood it. He's the only person I know who's talking about revision. He has he didn't specifically talk about manifesting specific people, but he didn't not talk about manifesting specific people. Like he has one story in one of his books about a woman who very much so manifested a specific person, where other people have a lot more limits, a lot more limited point of view. Does that mean I agree with everything that Neville was saying? No. Can you talk about manifesting in steps? It's no different than manifesting the end. When Neville was talking about living from the end, it's just telling yourself that whatever you want to be true is true. So if with relationships, if it's too much for you to comprehend, I'm married with kids, if that's your end goal, that's what you really want, but you're single and you're like, I'm married with kids, I'm married with kids, and it brings up all of these opposing thoughts and all this resistance and all this shit because you're like, that's so like, how in the fuck would that happen? Manifest meeting somebody. I met the most amazing person. Or we're texting all the time, meaning I met somebody and we're talking all the time. Or I have an amazing boyfriend, girlfriend. That's a step. But you would manifest meeting someone and then, oh my God, I met the most amazing person. And then be like, oh my God, we're talking all the time. And, or, you don't have to keep going in steps. Once you meet somebody, maybe you do go straight to thinking about being married. But it's just choosing a different end that is a step closer to what you want instead of trying to visualize or imagine or firm for the biggest version of what you want. I heard a lot of mystics used to have boardroom meetings back in the ancient times regarding the law, of course. It wasn't called the law of assumption back then. Not sure how true this information is. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't doubt it. Well, I wonder if what actually happened is when people started to travel to other parts of the world and yes, the outside looks very different, like the traditions around everything is very different, but when you take all the traditional part away, It's fucking scary that like all human beings on the entire planet fucking understood the same shit, but just were using it in different ways. Or maybe they didn't realize that that's what's happening, but that's what was happening. Man, I saw the best TikTok. It was this mom, and she's like, my kid, he's like 8. He said this, and I just didn't know what to say. And I was like, oh my God, that's a smart child. But this kid was like, traditions is just peer pressure from dead people. And I was like, oh, that's awesome and true, in my opinion. It's like, yeah. Oh my G. Yeah. Like, think about it. Think about it. Why do we do this? Well, it's tradition. Okay, but why do we keep doing it? That's so true. Yeah. We could just not do it anymore. That's a choice we could make. And we could make up something different to do. Lewis Barley, Louis Hay was Neville's best student, in his words. And she was all about affirmations and everything, started Hay House, etc. Yep, I've seen like a few things from her. I'm not super familiar with her, but yeah. A lot of people, I mean, Joseph Murphy was more affirmations than Neville, and I've heard that Neville or that Joseph Murphy was either taught by Neville or Abdullah. Like, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. What an epiphany I just had. Right? Right? I haven't been big on celebrating holidays for a long time. But when I heard that, I was like, yeah. Wow. That puts a different spin to it. Thank you, 8-year-old child. And I was like, man, that's gonna be my kids. That's the kind of shit my kids are gonna throw at me, and I'm gonna be like, yes, she talks about affirming things work out in our favor when in bad circumstances. Yeah. I don't know much about her at all. Yeah, that's what I've seen from her too. Is she's like, my go-to thing is I always tell myself somehow, some way, things are working out in my favor. Yes, and loving yourself. I think both are very important. And I find the more I can focus on that, just that. I don't know. Okay, I'm in this situation. I don't know how this is working out for me. I don't understand it, and that's okay. And it doesn't have to make me feel good, and I don't have to like it, but somehow, some fucking way, this is working out. This is me getting what I want. Everything's gonna be okay. I've heard multiple people talking about recently that they're like, even through your worst shit, you're still here. You made it through. You did something right. I'm like, yeah, that's true. She was the affirmation queen. Joseph Murphy was more of an affirmation person. Yeah. He was into long affirmations. I'm like, these things are like prayers. It's like, relax and read this like 2 paragraphs. I'm like, I can't remember that. Sorry. Yeah, Neville was visuals. He was taught by Abdullah as well. That's what I've heard. Which means he's teaching the same thing, but just with a different perspective. Yep. My go-to affirmation is everything works out for me and has never disappointed me. Mm-hmm. Yup. Absolutely. That was something I, especially when I found Law of Attraction. Like looking back, I just remember being so confused and like watching The Secret and being so confused and listening to people and being like, okay, that's great, but like, how do I change my life? Like, what do I do? And when it finally fucking clicked, it clicked. And it was like, oh, well, no wonder nothing has really changed the way I wanted it to because I wasn't changing my thoughts. I was trying to do all these bullshit techniques thinking that that somehow changed things. And it's like, no. Law of assumption has made me so open minded. By the way, there's a difference between open minded and naive. I agree. I absolutely agree. I absolutely, absolutely 1000% agree. And I personally believe that the more people who truly grasp conscious manifesting, truly grasp it, and get it to work for them, the more we're going to learn about manifesting and understand it, and the more the world is going to change. Like if someone said around 1,000 years ago that plants will exist, that that planes will exist, people would be like that person. They're yeah, that they were a crazy person. Oh yeah, 1,000 years ago, people, if someone was like, "Oh, airplanes will exist," people would have thought they were nuts. Oh yeah, totally agree. I wanted to be more confident and did the things I was told in videos, and they didn't help me until I focused on my mind. That was my exact fucking experience. I did so much stuff to try to be more confident, so much stuff. Like, it was ridiculous. And okay, yes, did it maybe help some? Sure. But when I really saw the change was when I decided I was confident and told myself that and saw myself as that person. And now I get compliments constantly on social media. Oh my God, I love your confidence. And it's like, wow, I truly became that person by changing the way I viewed myself. I found a method that works for me is affirming while visualizing or speaking my visualization as it's happening right now. Feels very real to me this way. See, you know exactly what you're doing. Sorry for the errors in your sentences. You're fine. But they would be right. Yes, they would be. Otherwise, I'm just affirming. See, you found what works for you. Hi, Nicole. What do you think about not having a desire to affirm or really do anything actively manifesting wise and just go with the flow after a long period of focusing on manifesting one thing? I think you need to do what's best for you. You need to trust you. What do you need to do? Because whatever you tell yourself you need to do or what is going to work for you is going to work for you. If it feels like work to do something, personally, I don't do it. I trust me. But I also put the meaning to it that, okay, well, I'm not going to do this way anymore, but it's still going to work. I have personally found that the consistent is always that it's the way you choose to view things and think. But the more I do it, the less I feel like I need to affirm, because my brain is either just naturally affirming or I'm thinking good things, or, you know, I don't feel like I have to put so much effort into stuff. I love affirming. I listen to music and affirm sometimes. Nice. I think people can try that. Makes it less boring. Yeah, I find I affirm while I'm doing other stuff. Like I said, I just make sure that my mind isn't going into places I don't want it to go. And I trust that by doing that, like everything's going to work out perfectly. I always get what I want. Just because you're not focused on it, it's not being focused on it that manifests it. It's your overall mindset that is your state of consciousness. And if you're, you know, not thinking against it, then I would just assume I'm thinking of it the way it should be. Hi, Moni. It's good to catch you live. It's good for you to be here. My hair has grown longer. Nice. If you tell yourself, oh my God, I have to affirm 24/7 in order for this to work, you're right. Or if you tell yourself, I have to affirm once and it works and I get my shit, you're right. But you have to keep telling yourself that that's how it works until you create that belief. It's all about creating the belief. Do we need to feel emotions to manifest? No. Absolutely not. We've talked about that quite a bit on this live already. No. I have felt like shit, and I have felt desperate, and I have felt depressed and anxious and spiraling out of control, and I have manifested shit. It's your mindset. It's what do you choose to tell yourself the majority of the time? What do you return back to thinking about the majority of the time? Not, I have to perfectly affirm this one affirmation or think this one thought, but where is your overall mindset the most? Yeah, Moon's feelings don't manifest at all. I agree. Feeling good just makes it more enjoyable to affirm. I agree with that too. That's been my experience. That has been my experience as well. When I took all of the fucking pressure off of myself and all of the worrying about how I feel and all of that shit and threw it out the window and focused fully on my mindset and my thoughts, that's when I've gotten shit to manifest and got shit to change. No one would be able to manifest themselves out of bad circumstances. I 1000% agree. If it had to do with your feelings, exactly. Yeah. If you had to make yourself feel good in order to get shit to change, nothing would ever change. Because your body is in the 3D. The 3D, there's a delay from what you tell yourself in your imagination, in your mind, in your thought process, however you want to look at whatever the fuck you want to identify this as, and what you experience in your physical world. And your body's in the 3D. It takes a second to catch up. So you just keep affirming and it'll catch up. But you just keep focusing on your mindset, focusing on your thoughts. I recently got to know about the law of assumption and it's overwhelming. Can you give some tips on how to proceed? Be gentle with yourself. Like, seriously. When I first found law of assumption, it was after years of law of attraction. And I was a fucking mess. I was spiraling out of control. And I was like, I lost my shit. It was bad. So give yourself some grace with it. Allow yourself to be like, okay, it's always been my mindset. I've always been manifesting. Like, let yourself get used to all of that. Know that it is your thoughts, it is your mindset, it is what you dominantly tell yourself. If you catch yourself thinking shit you don't want to be true, it doesn't mean you fucked anything up or that you did anything wrong. Your brain naturally thinks thoughts. Your brain is going to think from the places that you are used to thinking from. That's where the neural pathways are. That is the programming that you have. It doesn't matter where it came from. You now, as a conscious manifester, as someone who understands what you're doing, understands how it works, you get to accept or reject anything that comes into your head. The way that you change your dominant programming, the thoughts that you naturally have the most, where you function from the most, is through repetition. Whether that's affirmations or visuals or whatever is going to work best for you. The key isn't the techniques and finding the right techniques. It's about using the techniques to familiarize yourself with something new and then using whatever tools you need throughout the day to bring your focus back to what you want to be true instead of reacting in old ways and putting shitty meanings to things. But as long as you're doing that, familiarizing yourself with what you want to be true and bringing yourself back to that is what is now true, it's going to work for you. People forget their bodies are in the 3D. Absolutely. I call thoughts I don't want random thoughts. I like that. I like that. Yes, taking the pressure off helps so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. And for me, when I find myself being more stressed or more anxious or more doubtful or whatever, instead of affirming and thinking about something very specific, I'll go more general. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. I always get what I want. I love my life. Something like that. I usually go to isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect, or isn't it wonderful? Just to have, I call it my safety net affirmation. So I have my go to. But it's not about the specific thoughts or repeating one thought enough. It's just about keeping your mindset in a direction you want it to go versus one you don't. It was so helpful. It was so good to catch you live and hang out with you all. I'm so glad you could come hang out with us. The thoughts we affirm eventually become natural. They do. That was the part I didn't understand. I thought I was always going to have to like affirm this shit. I woke up one day and my affirmations were my natural thoughts, and it was jarring. I was like, holy shit, that's not normal. Holy crap, those are my affirmations. Holy shit. Hopefully see you Tuesday. Hopefully I'll see you then. I'll be on here. Becomes our natural thought process, 1000%. I know everyone is different, but how long until it feels more natural to you? Honestly, I can't even tell you how long it took me for it to become more natural. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. Like, I couldn't tell you. Thank you so much for answering my question. After watching so many coaches, you are the only one I can resonate with. Aw. Well, I'm glad that I can help you out. Bye, Moons. Or bye, Trixie. Thought you were leaving, Moons. Trixie's leaving. How long for me? I don't remember. I honestly don't. But I was changing my techniques and my affirmations and all the things like every fucking day, so probably longer than it needed to. Just gonna be honest. Do I need to believe my affirmations 100%? You're not going to believe them until they actually start happening in your life. So, no, you just choose to tell yourself that instead of other shit. Because what you're going to realize is that your experience is your thought process, what you're telling yourself. Whatever you're telling yourself is what you are experiencing. Life is meaningless. There's nothing that has meaning outside of you unless till you put meaning to it. So all you're doing is changing your perspective and watching it show up. But because you are so used to functioning from the same perspective, that's where you get caught up. It's a lifestyle change, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. That right there, it is a lifestyle change. Completely a lifestyle change. 1000% a lifestyle change. And the more you treat it as a lifestyle change, the better off you're going to be. I know that for me, one of the things that helped me the most was taking my focus off of manifesting and the manifestation part and just being like, I'm going to improve my mindset 1% a day. And if I can do that, then everything will get better. And just dropping all of the trying to force it and perfection and all the things made it so much better. I've been affirming a couple of weeks and got down about last week, got impatient and wavered. Who gives a fuck? Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. Keep going. The only way you can fail is to stop doing it. And the only reason that it wavered and all that matters is because you're fucking telling yourself that it does. It doesn't. You're a human. You're going to think thoughts. Sometimes you're going to catch on to one and you're going to go down a rabbit hole and you're like, why the fuck am I here? It's like Alice in Wonderland. You saw the rabbit, you went down the rabbit hole. Eventually, you wake the fuck up and realize it was all a dream. It doesn't matter. You move on. The end. So true. Keep the mindset in the right lane. Yeah, that's all you're doing. Just keep redirecting yourself and take yourself tell yourself everything you do is working. Yeah. That. Whatever you're doing is working. It's working perfectly. Hello, can you guide me on manifesting new love or someone you don't know? It's the same as manifesting anything else. Everything you manifest is exactly the same. You tell yourself you have it. Any objections of why you couldn't be in a relationship or you don't know the person or any of that fucking shit at all from your past, any doubts, none of it's relevant anymore. You met the most amazing person and you're in a happy relationship. If you want to do it from I'm in the relationship, I have a committed relationship, if that's like boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage, you can go there and be like, I'm so happily married, meaning I found the perfect person and we're together and everything's good. Or if you want to tell yourself, I met the perfect person, and just focus on that you met somebody amazing and what it's like to have met somebody amazing and that you're talking all the time, it's up to you, whatever feels better to you, but you have the relationship you want. When it comes to what is this person like, you can get a piece of paper out and decide what they're like. What do they look like? How do they act? What do they do? Like, it's your imagination. You focus on having what you want. Bye, Trixie. Love you too, Trixie. You are a bad bitch. You got this. You're welcome. Manifesting everything is exactly the same. Everything I talk on my channel take whatever I'm talking about. I usually go with money and SP because that's what most people fucking ask about. But just take the information and apply it to what you want. How is it going to work for you? This is your journey. Yep, only the imagination, aka the mind, matters. Exactly. So instead of when you think about wanting a relationship, all of that shit that you are now telling yourself, I don't know where I'd meet somebody, and I don't know if someone would want to be in a relationship with me, and all the things from the past and all my past relationships, and this was a problem, and I only attract these kind of people, and none of that fucking matters now because you met the perfect person and are happy in your relationship. Once you accept this, things unfold fast. Oh yeah, once you realize that it's the 3D as a mirror and it's just your mind and whatever you're telling yourself, I completely fucking agree with that. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And that the thing that like tripped me up and liberated me the most was realizing that all manifestation is the same. Because I came from that law of attraction-y, well, everything's possible, but you can't do this, but you can do this, but no to that, and this or something better, and all that shit. And it's like, no. No. When I affirm, the voice in my head is like, no, you don't have it. Who cares? You affirm anyway. You affirm anyway. The more you are you going to let that little voice win? Because that little voice is the only thing keeping you from everything you have ever wanted. Literally, that little voice is the devil. That's it. Like, that is the only thing that is hindering you from anything. So you either persist or you allow it to win. It's a choice. You can tell it to go fuck itself. You can, I like the way Nikki does it. She's like, I tell it not today, Satan, and it keeps affirming. You just keep affirming, literally. Her other one is, you're not my real dad. I don't have to listen to you. I'm like, that's great. You can either acknowledge it and tell it. Oh man, there's another teacher. I can't remember her. What is her name? I can't remember, but she's like, that little voice in your head, that's your barking dog. It's just trying to protect you and keep you in what's familiar. So give it a name. And so when it comes up, be like, yeah, that's just Fifi. I don't have to listen to her. She just let me know. It's a choice. How do you not waver, as in trying everything possible to get, but can't see in the 3D? You have to realize that what you're telling yourself up here is your true reality. And until you change this, this can't change. So as long as you stay the same you, thinking the same shit every day, you're going to get more of the same shit. When it comes to wavering, when you catch yourself wavering, you go back to affirming. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you move the fuck on. The more you focus on that you waver and that it's a problem, guess what? You're right. Because you're always right. Because whatever you tell yourself is true. So you just you pick yourself up and you keep going. Look at the 3D will just cause us to manifest more of it. Yes, exactly. In my early videos, I was like, you can affirm what you want. I'm in the happy relationship, or you can confirm that you're not. Whatever you tell your subconscious is going to be proven to you to be true. As Joseph Murphy said, your subconscious takes you at your word. Bob Proctor, I believe, is the one who said your subconscious always says yes. You are the one feeding it what to project out. And by choosing to keep looking at what's happening and feeding that information into your subconscious by constantly focusing on it, that's why it keeps producing the same shit, because you don't change. Everything is the same to manifest. You're so funny. Flossie calls it Felicia. She does call it Felicia. Yeah, I love Flossie too. She calls negative thoughts Felicia. Yeah, Felicia. Shut up, Felicia. No. I know what you're talking about, Moons. But yeah, Again, this is your experience. What is going to work for you? You know what you need to be doing. So how is it easiest for you to do it? But I will tell you, the key is to fucking persist. You do it anyway. You do it anyway. If you have a human moment and you have something that happens in your 3D and you have some feelings to feel, fucking feel them. Either affirm through it, which is what I'd like to do, or feel your feelings and get back on the horse. Do we imagine only one scene repeatedly, or can we imagine different scenes? That's up to you. As long as you, in my opinion, as long as you are focusing on things being the way you want them to be, the rest of the details don't fucking matter. Everyone teaching this shit is speaking from their experience. Some people will tell you that you need to repeat the same scene over and over and over again, and some people will tell you that you can choose different scenes. Why? Because that's their belief and their experience. The key is to tell yourself that whatever you're doing is working. If you can say you manifest instantly, your subconscious says yes. The key is to repeat, I can manifest instantly, I can manifest instantly, I can manifest instantly, until it starts to happen and you truly believe it. You expect it. Literally. Like you expect the sun to come up. Like you're not like, oh, I don't know, maybe the sun won't come up. I don't know. Yeah, I'm an instant manifester. I believe that to the same degree in which the sun is going to come up. That's when you don't continue to affirm anymore, because you just, that's who you are. That's who you identify as. I am an instant manifester. I manifest instantly is my natural thought. Exactly that. That's why I manifest fast. Yep. Anything you want to be true can be true through repetition, because the shit you believe is true now is only true because of, you guessed it, repetition, or something that you just easily accepted as, well, that must be a fact, and now it's true. That's it. That's all it is. Yep, agree. Over a year ago, I acted like a victim. Oh, yeah. Oh, victim state. It was so comfortable to me. So comfortable. So natural. So normal. So just who I was, that the thought of truly being happy, yeah, it was addicting. Yeah, it was. It was normal. It was comfortable. Feeling happy and abundant and, actually having a good life was like, I want that, but I'm comfortable here. What are your thoughts on robotic affirmations? It's a technique. The reason that most people are successful with it, or a lot of people are successful with it, is because if you spend the majority of your time focusing on affirming, then that means the majority of the time you're not thinking about other shit. If every time you have time to be thinking of other shit, but you're going to choose to affirm, you are getting your brain familiar with what you now want to be true. But you have to use that affirmation or affirmations whenever the topic comes up. It's not just about doing it for a little bit. Oh, I did my affirmation sessions today. Where's my shit? You're affirming to change you, to change your brain, to change your dominant thought process. And if robotic affirmations is the way you want to go, then they'll work for you. But again, tell you they work for you. That was where I started, because my brain was a fucking disaster area. I blocked myself from being happy because I didn't think I deserved it. Oh yeah, it's a real thing. It really fucking is. Oh, you're welcome. It's all about changing your focus, changing your mindset, focusing on things being the way you want them to be. And the more you do that, and the more you don't beat yourself up when you're not doing it and you just return to it, however that looks for you, it's going to work. I didn't feel happiness even if I tried, because subconsciously I believe I didn't deserve to be happy. It was absolutely ridiculous. Thank God I'm happy now. I'm so glad that you figured that out. That's awesome. I can so relate. I I can so relate. It's so true. And you don't see it when you're in it. You're so close to it. You don't realize that you're telling yourself that kind of shit. But once you see it, you're like, okay. And once you change it and you look back, you're like, fuck. Can I manifest changes in physical appearance? Yeah, you can. Same way you would manifest anything else. Whatever you want to change about yourself is now changed and you love it. Depending on what it is, you could do like Moons did. She had a scar on her nose from where she had her nose pierced and decided that washing her face would get rid of the scar, and the scar went away. It's all the same. Yep. Absolutely. I agree. Yep, it did, and was shocked, laugh out loud. Yep. Anything you can desire, anything you can want, anything you or can be like, man, I wish it was like this. All you have to do is tell yourself that it's like that. That's it. And let the rest go. Decide that that is where you're going and that is how things are playing out, is to get you what you want. Half of the time I don't believe my manifestations, right? And it still happens. Oh yeah. You don't believe your affirmations, you don't believe anything's going to change, you don't believe you're going to get what you want, and you're like, I'm going to just keep focusing on this, and then it happens and you're like, it worked. It's like it works every time. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I'm still surprised. I think because it happens so naturally. Things unfold so fucking naturally. People expect, people think it's gonna be this like, poof, manifestation. And it's like, you've been doing it your whole life. Things unfold so naturally that when they happen, you're like, was that a manifestation or would it have happened anyway? Wow, I still get shocked most of the time. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because the way that it's going to unfold and happen is going to be it's a way you're never have going to have thought it would happen. Yes, it happens naturally. Yeah. It happens naturally and subtly, and it can go from night to day in 1 second, where you're like, there is no movement, nothing. I don't know why I'm even doing this, but I know I need to continue doing it, and then everything will just change in an instant. We would go crazy if it didn't. I agree. I agree. I've had a couple of holy shit manifestations that I can't explain, like instant manifestations, where one was I took my dog to the vet and she had a lump on her neck. And by the time she saw the vet tech felt it and saw it, but by the time the vet saw it, it was gone. And it had been there for months. And the vet tech was like, I don't understand what happened. Like, I don't understand. Like, it was there and I felt it. And my brother and I were like, what do they fucking mean the lump is gone? But it was gone. And all of us were just like, what the fuck? And it's like, all manifestation is the same. Yes, I was affirming she's healthy and that it didn't matter and all the things, but in the scheme of life, that is a very small experience. It is very different than waking up in a different house in a different country, being married and having 5 kids and being like, and the unbelievableness of the lump disappearing. I'm like, I would lose my shit if that's how it worked. That's incredible you did that, Sonia. Magical. Magical bitch. I am a magical bitch. Yeah. And that was before I understood that it was affirmations or what the fuck I was doing. That was back in my law of attraction days. I just did it as a way to self-soothe. Literally. I was like, no, Precious is healthy. Precious is going to be healthy. No, they're going to tell me she's healthy. Instead of being worried about her not being healthy, I will say it helped. I groomed dogs for 11 and a half years, so I was familiar with lumps, and I'm like, she's fine. I know she's fine, but those worries wanted to come up, and I was like, no. Nope. And what's funny is when I told other people, at that point, I went back to dog grooming and was working with people I'd known for a long time, and I told them that story, and no one wanted to talk about it. It just made everybody super uncomfortable. They're like, that's crazy. And that's how people will react to a lot of things with manifesting. It's like, that is the craziest thing. I can't believe shit happened that way. It's like, yeah, because I was thinking it would. Manifestation is magic. It's just not the way it's portrayed on TV, where it's like, bippity boppity boop, you're done. Sunny and my swelling disappeared in 2 hours. Was my most scary manifestation so far. Yeah. Yep. I had one morning, I went downstairs. I took the dogs downstairs. I went to take the dogs out and was like, fuck. And I looked at the counter. I was like, fuck, I forgot my mug. God damn it, I forgot my mug. I have to go get it. Not like it's a big deal to go get it, but I was like really pissed about it. I take the dogs out. I walk back in the house and my mug was sitting on the counter. And I was like, I must have brought it. No, I did. I know I didn't bring it down. I was just pissed because I left it upstairs. But there it was sitting on the counter. It freaked me the fuck out. You shifted very quickly. Yeah. Again, that's a small shift, right? So think about a huge, major life change just happening in an instant. Yep. I know you want shit to change. I know you want shit to change, and it will change, and things can change quickly, and you can gain momentum very quickly. But trust me, I don't think you want it to be like that. At least not in the beginning. Maybe you get to a point where you're comfortable in it being like that, but that happened with my necklace. I swear I lost my necklace at my workplace. See? And I started affirming it was back. Man, that reminds me when I was like in elementary school. So I had no idea about manifesting, but I was in school and we had like show and tell, and I brought this one stuffed animal and it got stolen. Like it went missing. It was gone. And everyone, all the adults were like, we're probably never going to find it again. Like it's probably gone. And for some reason, I was like, we're going to find it. 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 And I shit you not, the janitor found it. And one day I was checking my coat pocket to get my Vaseline out, and there it was. I could swear I checked that pocket several times. You probably did. You probably did. I think I mentioned this before in a live. I think you did too, but yeah, like, yeah. I swear that mug was not on the counter. Like, I know it wasn't, but there it was. I've heard a lot of stories of people being like, I know that wasn't there. I heard one, and this wasn't even a manifestation story. This was somebody being like, that and the swelling was scary. Yeah. And like I said, those are like little things in the scheme of life, right? I saw this video of somebody being like, I need you to explain this to me. It wasn't a manifestation video, but they had lost something and they were like, they had lost something, and when they lost it, they had like a rocking chair or a recliner or something. And then they had gotten rid of that recliner and got a new recliner, and the thing that had been missing, they found it in the recliner and was like, how the fuck does that happen? And it's like, manifesting. I was concerned about myself. I thought I was going crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you manifest on a time crunch? I just did a video about manifesting on a time crunch. It's done. Whenever you think about it, it's done. By the date you want it done, it's done. Whatever you want to do on that date is done. It is set in stone. It is on your calendar. If it's going to stress you out to add an added layer of a time crunch to it, then don't add an added layer of a time crunch to it. I don't personally like to manifest on a time crunch, but if I have to, I just know it's a done deal. That's like when you've planned a vacation and you have it all set and everything's ready, you just are going to go on that vacation. That's how you have to think about it. It is done. That bill is going to be paid on that date. It's paid. I don't have to worry about it. It's paid. It's paid, it's paid, it's paid, it's paid, it's paid. And no, you can't be, when you're getting closer and closer to that date, being like, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. When's it going to change? Why isn't it done yet? It's done. It's done. It was taken care of. The end. Because the more you're worrying about when and how it's going to happen and if it's going to happen, you're wavering. You're wavering and you're focused majority on it not happening or not working. The more you can focus on it being done, it'll happen. You just don't know when or how it will unfold, but by that date, it's going to work out perfectly. Sonia, any more small manifestation stories that scared you? Those are the two. Those were the two that I can think of like what the fuck moments. But those were two things. I was affirming that Precious was healthy. I was mad that I didn't have my mug downstairs. I wasn't really thinking about like anything else about, oh, well, it's going to manifest on the counter to make me happy. That's what I've learned from those two things is you don't, again, control the how. I couldn't make that happen, but that's how it happened. Interesting. You probably manifested so much and didn't notice. Oh, I'm sure. I think we all manifest so much and don't notice. Or you brush it off. You brush it off. Like, oh man, I remember, again, I didn't just like, this was back when I would have said, what a coincidence. I have a little feather. It's a little hawk or eagle feather, I don't know, that my dad found on the floor of the hospital when I was born. And I've had it my whole life. And when we moved from Denver to Dallas, no, it wasn't that move. It was from the one house to the second house. I thought I had lost it. And was like, fuck. And I was picking up the boxes and like the packing stuff, and it had gotten stuck to a piece of tape on one of the boxes. But I remember being like, either it'll turn up or I guess it's just gone, oh well. And it showed back up. Yes, brushing it off is common. Yeah. Yeah, because logically there's no explanation. Like, what is the chance of that happening? Or that makes no fucking sense. I manifest a lot with deliveries. That's fun. That's super fun. Okay, Jackson, come here. All right, you guys, any last questions today? I gotta go take Jax downstairs. He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he wants tea time. Jax doesn't like to drink water unless I put lunch meat in it, so he's thirsty. If I order something, especially from Amazon, I manifest the delivery date to be quicker. Nice. See? Ugh, I have to wait for my shit. Oh. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Jax is so funny. I swear to you, Gemma, he fucking manifested that. He's like, this water. And I tried all kinds of things. I'm like, what if I put meat in it? Will you eat it if there's meat in it? And he's like, yeah. What's really funny is I had been getting just like what the store had, and they had like chicken and ham. Jax doesn't give a shit. He's like, you're putting meat in my water, I'm happy. Precious, on the other hand, because she wants some too, I don't put it in her water because she drinks enough without it, but she wants some of what I'm giving him. She is very weary of things, and she's like, so she comes over and like sniffs it, and she's like, pretty sure that's a vegetable. Mom's trying to feed me a vegetable. It's kind of gross. But now they have turkey, and she devours the fucking turkey. She's like, turkey, turkey, turkey. So my dogs want their lunch meat, okay? They're crazy. I swear they manifested all of it. Precious is so aware. Oh yeah, she is. You have no idea how aware she is. So I'm mostly a vegetarian. I was a strict vegetarian for 17 years, and I rarely eat meat. My mom is a very strict vegetarian and has been for a very long time, since before I got Precious. And so she's used to women around her being vegetarians and not eating meat, and she doesn't like vegetables. Jax will eat vegetables. Precious does not want anything to do with the fucking vegetables. So whenever my mom and I try to give her shit, she's like, pretty sure it's a vegetable. It's a vegetable, right? But this fucking turkey, she's in. She's so in. And she believes that all women are vegetarians. So only when guys come over is she like, oh, you probably eat meat, right? You'll give me what I want. Those women. Dogs are so smart. They all have different personalities, just like humans. They really do. They really do. Precious is too much. She's so funny. But yeah, she's convinced any food that women are going to give her is a vegetable. It's a vegetable. But now she knows the turkey, and she's like, give me the turkey. Like, you need to calm down. Yeah, Precious. She is precious. Named her right, for sure. She's something else. I love my puppies. They're crazy. She has an assumption. She does. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had another dog that was older that I had to give medication to, and we would take the pill pockets and like put the pills in there for her, and we would give Precious some of the pill pocket just because she wanted something, because KK was getting stuff. And then one time I like had to put a pill in one for Precious, and she found it in there. Now she's always on the lookout for us hiding things in her food. Yeah, my dog's convinced I'm trying to poison her. She's a mess. Yeah, she definitely has an assumption that all women are vegetarians. Yep, and all food that you're hand feeding her may have something hidden in it. Bless her. Yeah, she's so smart. It's ridiculous. But yeah, those are my dog stories. Animals are very aware. Yep, we do not give them enough credit. They're amazing. All right, you guys, if there are no more questions, it has been super fun hanging out with you today. I'm going to go live again. I've decided, so Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to come hang out, I will be here. But yeah, it's been super fun. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Yes, it was great being here in the live with you. December will be amazing. I agree, Moons. It's always fun hanging out with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, Moons. I will see you all soon. Love and light.